You saved my life. You're wonderful.
What did I tell you? Yeah.
You're hurt.
Nah, it was just a bump. You all right?
Yeah. Oh.
Well, goodbye.
Oh, please don't go.
Oh, it was just an accident.
No, it wasn't. Someone tried to kill me. I know it. They said they would, and they'll try it again. Here, will you read this? Somebody put it in my bag.
Leave this house at once if you value your life. Well, goodbye. Hey, that's really on the level. Somebody tried to... Whose room is up there?
Well, that's the tower, I think.
The tower, eh? Somebody tried to kill you, eh? Well, I'll show him he can't go around throwing rocks on people. I'll go up there and I'll get him in my hands and I'll tear him apart.
Now, please don't. You might get hurt.
It's a good thing you talked me out of it.
Then you'll help me?
Well,
Please.
Yes?
This is Mr. Tuttle, Professor Hilton.
You mind if we look around, Professor?
I'm busy. Constellations changing. Venus approaching Jupiter.
It must be very interesting for Jupiter. Go right ahead. We won't get in your way.
Careful. You might get a long way down.
How did that stone get loose?
Stone? Stone? Oh, yes, stone. Thought I heard. Afraid to look. Heights make me vertigo, dizzy.
It's funny for an astrologer.
Up, yes. Look up. I like that. Down, no. It goes to my dizzy.
Professor, I was almost killed by that stone. You don't seem very interested.
What will be, will be. It's all in the stars.
May I look at your hand?
Palms? Poppycock bungum. Don't believe in reading palms.
Depends on what you see there. There's dirt on yours. How did it get there?
My pencil. Rolled underneath the telescope. Dusty under there. Very dusty.
Well, excuse us.
Thank you. What do you think?
Well, he looked harmless enough, but there was dirt on his hand.
Well, maybe someone came around the parapet when he wasn't looking and loosened the stone.
Why should anyone want to harm you?
I don't know. Uncle Cyrus left kind of a peculiar will. Hasn't been read yet. But if I'm one of the ones that gets the bigger share, somebody wants to get me out of the way. Could have been an accident.
Accident? Say, are you covered for falling stone?
I don't think so.
Well, if one stone fell, another could work loose. And it would be a good thing to be covered. Let's see now.
Oh, the detective. I wonder why he didn't show up. Atlas Detective Agency. Canal 60598. They don't answer.
Maybe they're on a special case, something like murder or something. What are you doing here? I thought you'd left. Well, you see...
You wanted someone to watch the body. The detective didn't show up. So Mr. Tuttle said he'd do it.
I did? Him? He. What? He, not him. It's a common mistake. You see, him is objective.
I'm sure your grammar is excellent, Mr. Tuttle. But I'm afraid you won't make a very good watchman.
I'm afraid so, too.
Well, he's better than no watchman at all, isn't he? Besides, I think he's very nice to say he'd do so.
Who are...
Very well. I wash my hands of the whole responsibility. From now on, it's on your own head.
On my head. Now, Mr. Gelman, there's a mistake here.
It's very kind of you. I'll be able to sleep now. Good night, Albert.
Good night, Carol.
Night, Mr. Gelman.
Good night.
I guess it'll be all right. I'll sit here and make myself comfortable.
In there.
In there?
I don't need anybody to watch out here.
Mr. Gelman, would you like to play a little dominoes?
No.
Set a game?
No.
Murder at midnight. Nine, 10, 11. The large, gloomy house was dark, except for the light by which McGarity was reading. Outside, a storm was brewing. Inside, the painful silence held a promise of violence and death. In the distance, the first faint rumble of approaching thunder was heard. The very emptiness of the room held menace. To Inspector McGarity's alert ears, no sound was too slight to be heard. The ticking of the clock, almost in rhythm with the beating of his own heart. The wind slammed a shutter against a window. McGarity knew that the hour was at hand. Quietly, a secret panel opened in the wall behind him. Two hands with fingers curved like the claws of a predatory animal reached toward his throat. Feeling vaguely that something was amiss, McGarity glanced around. The hands withdrew. When they reappeared, they held a handkerchief to jam down his throat and snuff the breath from his lungs before he could cry out. Back of McGarity's neck began to rise, as he had a premonition that the bloody hand which had struck down Sir Ogilvy would strike again that night. McGarity's premonition was well-founded, for at that very moment the murderer lurking behind him was preparing to kill the famous detective in cold blood. Trash. Things like that don't happen.